Just waiting, just give it a second to make sure everyone's sound's connected. All right. Hi, everyone. All right, let's get started. So hi, everyone. Welcome to gift making, Christmas gift making with the Mixmasters. This is our very first virtual cooking class as a team. So I'm super excited. Got 4 of my wonderful team members with us tonight. And we're going to show you some pretty amazing gifts that you can make with your Thermomix for this festive season. So we're going to get straight into it tonight. We've got quite a bit to show you, and hopefully we'll keep to time, but I'm sure you're all going to love it. Please, you can see a couple of comments already coming up in the chat box. If you've got any comments as we're going, just pop them in the chat box and one of us will get back to you. But I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to start by throwing to Charlotte.
All right, hi everyone. I'm going to be making the caramelised red onion chutney, which is something a little bit different for me. I'm normally a really sweet, like a baker, although this is sweet. So yeah, my name's Charlotte. I've got Home Baker Mum on Facebook and Instagram. So I'm from just out of a town called Warragul in Gippsland, Victoria. I've had my TM6 for coming up to a year now. I upgraded from the TM5. Yeah, I love this one. I'm always baking away and cooking away. But I'll get started. Can everyone see my screen okay? Or is it a bit blurry?
That's perfect, Charlotte.
That's better? All right. So this is a guided cooking recipe. So it's all the steps are on your screen. So I've saved it to my week on here and it's come up here. You can just scroll down and it's a difficulty easy, prep time 10 minutes, which is nothing. And it goes through all the ingredients, your steps, all your nutrition panel, if that's something that interests you, and your hints and tips before I start. I've been caught out a couple of times. Yeah, so we'll get started. All I'm going to do is start cooking. And it's just telling me to add 25 grams of olive oil. It's got the built-in scales over, I don't know if you can see my screen. It's in 1 gram increments. The TM5 is in 5 gram increments. So it's just telling me to add 25 grams of olive oil, and you can tear it back to 0 here if you forget to take the lid off or anything. So pop that in. Has anybody made this before, or even any sort of chutney before? Let me know in the chat. And then we're just going to hit next, and the scales reset themselves. And I'm going to put in 500 grams of red onions cut in wedges, which you didn't want to see me chopping them up, so I did that earlier. Chuck that in. 509 grams. So I'm not going to take 9 grams out. It's guided cooking, and that's close enough. Next, it's telling me to place the splash guard onto the mixing bowl lid to prevent splashing. So that's your measuring cup. So that's your actual lid. So put that on. And then this one's your splash guard, which you do get with your TM6. It's not an extra thing. And we use that for high heat mode through a guided recipe. Can't just go in and start. So that's just going to for 20 minutes. It's going to cook that fry pan. So it's 40 degrees hotter than a TM5. So you've got 20 minutes to go off and bath the kids, read a book, do what you need to do.
Amazing, Charlotte. Thank you. We might flip over to Sarah while that starts cooking away there.
Do you want to hear that sizzling? Can you hear that?
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear that sizzle there now.
Yeah. All right.
Perfect. Thanks you.
Charlotte. So I'm Sarah. I am Mama Be Healthy on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'll be showing you the salted chocolate caramel fudge. I just thought this one would be super handy to give for gifting teachers, for your kids' teachers. Super quick to make. So let's get into it. Start cooking. Line a baking dish with baking paper. Done that. Just click next. 170 grams of milk chocolate. You can use different type of chocolates. I have tried this with caramel milk and it's delicious. 171, perfect. Click next and we'll go on with the measuring cup lid. Next, and that's going to 8 seconds. So bear with me.
35.
So nice and fast, and in 8 seconds, give it a second, we now have grated chocolate in 8 seconds. So really nice and fast. It says to transfer that into a bowl and set aside, which just grab a quick bowl. Set that one aside. Perfect. Doesn't matter if there's still a little bit in there. Click next. It's all going into our fudge anyway. 395 grams of condensed milk. Now the TM6 is amazing. You can do so much. You can obviously make your own condensed milk if you wanted to. Tonight I didn't, just to save some time. So we've got 1 can of condensed milk. Click next. 160 grams of brown sugar. And again, it's so good. You don't have to use measuring cups to wash up at the end. All in one scale. 130, getting there. 161, pretty good. Click next. 120 grams of diced butter. It's salted butter. So we'll just go in 126. Yeah. And 75 grams of golden syrup. This one's super delicious. It is obviously quite sweet, but that salt just cuts through all of that sweetness. And then 50 grams of glucose syrup. Right, 40, perfect. And click next. And 5 pinches of fine sea salt. I'll just go in with a handful. We're all about being fast with our Thermomix at our household. So place the simmering basket instead of your measuring cup onto the mixing bowl lid. Sorry, just quickly grab my simmering basket. Pop that on top. Click next and it's all programmed in there for you. 8 minutes, 100 degrees, and turn the speed selector to speed 3. And that's going to cook away for 8 minutes.
Amazing, thank you. And while that's cooking, now we're going to go over to Jess.
Hey everyone, I'm Jess. I'm based in Canaiva, so in the Wimmera, where we're having insane storms today. But I am Thermolife on the Farm on Instagram and Facebook, and tonight I am going to make honeycomb. So I would love if you could pop in the chat if you've ever made honeycomb before, because most people who I ask always have a story about nearly burning down the house or something like that. So I'll just pop this down here and bring it a bit closer. See that a bit better. I'll go to my machine here. I'll go to these 3 buttons and to my week, and I've put the recipe already in my week. So I'll pop that up here. Now, what I'm actually going to do tonight is, because I don't need this much honeycomb to eat, and I've already made some to be already cooled, I'm actually going to scale the recipe. So if you can see here, the serving size. Hang on a second, it doesn't want to do it for me. And this is a different one. Hang on 2 seconds. Sorry, Erin.
You're fine. So what Jess is about to show us is the new scaling feature of our on our TM6 on Cookadoo 3.0. So for those of you who have a TM6 and who have Cookadoo 3.0, you might have noticed that you can now scale recipes. So that means we can, decrease the amount we're making or increase the amount we're making as well. And honeycomb is one of the recipes that has been scaled and tested by Thermomix. So we can actually halve the honeycomb recipe, which is amazing because it does make quite a lot. And if you don't need it all, you tend to eat it all anyway. So making a half batch is perfect. Go back to you, Jess.
All right. So sorry about that. I had the wrong honeycomb one up, because you'll notice that there's about 3 different honeycomb recipes on there. So if you just scroll down a little bit from that screen, you'll see the difficulty. It says medium. It's not really that hard. And the time. But if you look at the serving size over here, if you click on that, we now have this option, as Erin said, you can drop the serving size down back to half. So if I click on that and click apply, it has now changed the whole recipe, cook times, ingredients, everything, to only half the recipe. So I can start cooking, and you no longer have to work it all out in your head, which is amazing. This is always a disclaimer that comes up. We're about to use the sugar stages mode of the Thermomix. And so you need to actually be quite accurate with your ingredients for it to work. So whereas normally we're a bit, we say, close enough is good enough, sugar stages, no, it's got to be perfect. So now it's just asking me to line a loaf tin with some baking paper and set aside. So I've done that. And measuring out half a tablespoon of bicarb soda. So I've already done that as well and put it on the plate. But a hot tip for everyone is actually sieve it, so that you don't have a lump of baking soda when you pop it in at the end. So just go on to 150 grams of sugar. I'll just pop that straight into the bowl. And as I said, this is only half. So the original recipe would have been 300 grams of sugar, and making a large batch. 151. Now 10 grams of honey or golden syrup. So honeycomb, as the name suggests, is made with honey, but if you like a crunchy bar or anything like that, I'm pretty sure crunchy bars are made with golden syrup. So you do have the option of doing both. It just changes the flavor that little bit. So I'm just popping that in and just trying not to get it on top of the plate, especially seeing that I'm only making a half batch as opposed to the full batch. 40 grams of water. It's much harder to get everything accurate when it's so much smaller amounts. There we go. And that is all that was in it. So we'll just pop the lid on, and it's saying without the measuring cup. And we turn it on to go. And that is now going to make our honeycomb. So that's just going to take 14 minutes on the sugar stages mode, and you'll see that the clock won't start counting down until it's reached the maximum heat. So once that gets going, you can come back to me in 14 minutes.
Amazing. Thanks, Jess. I'm so excited about the recipe scaling. I absolutely love it. I've used it so much already and love that we can do it on unhealthy recipes like this to help ourselves a bit.
That's right.
Just let us know when it's coming back to being nearly finished, because we do have to be right on time.
Yep, we'll do.
All right. So we might check back in with Sarah. How are we going for time there?
Yep, I just have 2 more minutes left on mine. The great thing about obviously doing this in your Thermomix, you don't have to stand at your stove stirring and stirring and stirring. So if I was making this, I would usually, this would be my cleanup time, and come back when it sings to me. I love that it sings as well. The other good thing is that it obviously tells it's a safety thing as well. It tells you when it's getting hot. You're not going to have anything burning. The amount of times I've burnt things on the stove because I've forgotten. With your Thermomix, it's all programmed in there for you. So yeah, that's a really good feature too.
Perfect. Have you made any other fudges before, Sarah?
I haven't, but I've tried this recipe out with, like I said, the caramel and a white chocolate one too. And it's great because when you go to parties, people love it and it's super easy. Like I said, you just put everything in and it just does all the work for you.
Has anybody else made any different flavour fudges before? They become really popular at this time of year. I know there's a couple of really great recipes out there. Pop it in the chat box and let us know which are your favourites. Give us some new ideas for the Christmas. Redskin sounds good, Karen.
Ooh.
How are you going? It should be about up on that cook time.
Nearly done. We've got about 20 seconds to go.
Amazing.
And the good thing as well is you can preview in your recipe. So if you were wanting to check the next steps, you can just click preview up the top and it will walk you through what the next steps are. So I can see that coming up, I will just need to scrape down the sides of the mixing bowl with the spatula, and then it's going to go again. There's it going. It's singing for us. So I'm just going to click next. And I know what I need to do because I've previewed that. I'll give you a quick look. So it's not super, I don't want to pour it out the end. It's not super dark yet. But it's getting there. So all I'm going to do is just scrape down the sides, make sure all that goodness is down to the bottom where the heat gets the hottest. And then click next and place our lid and our simmering basket back on. And it's going to go on 20 minutes at the Varoma heat, speed 3.
Amazing. That's all our hands-on time, is it?
Yeah, that's
so
it.
Good. So easy. All right. How are you going, Charlotte?
I've got 6 minutes left. You can see the steam coming out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, I'm going to start my rocky road then, and we'll flick back to you after that. How does that sound?
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool. All right. I'll come over here. All right. I'm just going to move my screen a little bit. I had to make a few changes because I had some technical difficulties right as we were starting at the start. Once we were trying to start even. Sorry, guys, that's a bit... Sorry, too much moving there. Hope you're not motion sick. Okay, so I'm going to make... it's a Clinkers Rocky Road, and we're going to make it into like a Christmas wreath. So this is a really quick and easy and really fun idea, just to make something a little bit different as well for Christmas. But I'm going to do the Clinkers Rocky Road, which is a bit different just to the standard. And this one is actually a Thermo Bliss recipe. So it's not on Cookadoo, and we're just going to use the manual mode to do it. So to get started, first of all, the recipe says to line your baking tray, which I'm not using tonight. I'll show you what we're going to use afterwards. So we can skip on that one. And then I've chopped our clinkers, and we're just going to use our scales, just like externally kind of thing now. So I'm just going to pop a bowl on the top. swipe across, open up my scales. And now into there, we're going to put 300 grams of halved clinkers. So you can just see them in there. You guys love clinkers. So has anyone made this clinkers rocky road before? It's a bit of a treat, that's for sure. And then we're going to add 100 grams of marshmallows. So just tear those scales. And then we're going to add 200 grams of raspberry lollies as well. So obviously this one is not made for its health. And that's close enough. So that's it for that. Then we're going to pop that to the side. And then into our bowl, we're going to pop 500 grams of milk chocolate. So I'm just using just the chocolate buttons. This does make quite a bit. Uses a lot, but makes quite a bit as well. And then 30 grams of coconut oil. So just tear those scales again. Just having a look at the chat box. No one's made the rocky road before. Has anyone made just a standard rocky road? I made that last year. I actually made my own Turkish delight and marshmallow as well, which was really fun. I don't think that I'll have time to do it this year, but that's okay. So then we're going to pop our lid on with our measuring cup, and then we're just going to put it on to melt. So 4 minutes, 80 degrees, speed 2. And then if it needs more time, we can add more time as well. And then as per the recipe, after that 4 minutes, I'm just going to give it a bit of a scrape down and then, yeah, remelt it if necessary. I'll see how I go, but I might do the scrape down off camera if we're doing something else. So 4 minutes, 80 degrees, speed 2. And that's it. That's our starter there. So how are we going, Charlotte?
Still 2.5 minutes to go.
Sorry?
2.5 minutes.
2.5. I'm just going to move that out of the way. Yeah.
That's okay.
What
So,
Christmas
yeah,
gifts have you been making? Anyone started making their own Christmas gifts, or have you previously made your own Christmas gifts? Pop in the chat box and let us know. Just reading a bit of the chat box. How's your honeycomb going, Jess?
Yeah, it's starting to smell delicious. It's got about 7 minutes 30 to go.
Amazing. Oh,
It's
Marsha's
just bubbling
made
away.
Baileys. That sounds amazing. We've got some
Yeah.
ideas coming through. Keep inspiring us all for Christmas this year.
I think Taryn's made the salted caramel fudge last year for some teacher gifts.
Amazing. And hot chocolate sticks. I think I made them last year as well. Last year I made a platter for our neighbours and a couple of our friends that had these chocolate little wreaths on it, and we had some rumbles, some red and green shortbread from Cookadoo. If you haven't made that one before, make sure you add it to your list this Christmas. It is amazing. You will not regret that. What else? Oh, and some fudge, caramel fudge I made as well. I think you can't go wrong with fudge at this time of year. All right, we're going to come back over to you, Sharks. I think you should be just about done there.
Yeah, I've got 1 minute to go, so it'll ding any second now, any minute. So yeah, I've done this edible gift. Yeah, something a bit different to what I would normally do, but it probably goes well on a cheese board. You can have it with like cold cuts at Christmas. People have it on sandwiches. You can put it in a salad. Some people put it on a pizza. So there's lots of different things you could do with this one. I'd probably put it on a cheese board with some crackers. So it's a sticky, sweet sort of texture. This has got 10 seconds to go.
Look how easy it is to make a chutney, you know, using the high heat mode. I don't know if anyone's made a chutney or any relish or any of that kind of thing, you know, kind of on the stove top. You have to be very careful, you know, you don't burning it, you have to be stirring it quite frequently. Yeah.
So that's it there, and it's quite brown on the bottom, which isn't a problem because the vinegar, it says in all the tips there. The vinegar in the next step will help remove that and caramelize. So we're just going to go next, and it says add 200 grams of light brown sugar. Just back to where you can see it. I've just got normal brown sugar. I didn't buy any light brown sugar. Is that the same thing? So 196, that's close enough for me. 200 grams of red wine vinegar. So I just got the Woolies brand. Smells delicious. Slowest pouring bottle ever. Nearly there. All right, 205, that's fine. It says to put half to 1 fresh red chilli, thinly sliced to taste. I'm just going to skip that. Won't worry about the chilli. And a teaspoon of salt. Chuck that in. And then it says place the varoma dish into position. So we've got the lid back on. This one is your varoma dish, which you do get with it as well. It's all included. And then this is just going to cook on for 25 minutes on the varoma temperature, which is a high temperature, just on reverse, so it's not going to chop up that onion that we've just cooked. It's just going to, and then on speed half a speed, just to gently stir that and not chop up the onion. That's going to caramelise away now.
Delicious. Your kitchen is going to be smelling amazing soon. Jess, how are you going? I'm just conscious that we need to be on to you on the clock.
Yeah, I am 3 minutes 20 to go.
Cool. I might just show you my chocolate's finished.
Yep, you
come
go.
back over here and just sing out when it's 30 seconds to go and we'll come over.
Yeah.
All right, so my chocolate and coconut oil has melted perfectly in there. You can see I'm going to be careful not to tip it out as well. And then all as I'm doing now is just adding it into our lolly mix. So it's just that easy. So I'm just going to pour that over the top. And you can see how perfectly and easily that melted. And then we're just going to mix that through. So it's just so easy melting chocolate in your Thermomix. No standing at the microwave and then burning it, or the double boiler on the stove. Just pop it on and walk away. So that's it. We're just going to mix all that together. And then to make our wreaths, I'm using a silicone donut tray. So you can get these from the mix shop. Keep an eye out for a mix shop sale coming soon too, guys. And then I'm just going to spoon that in there. And that's as easy, like it's that easy, guys. And then we'll come back at the end once they've set a little bit and decorate them. Any questions so far on anything at all, guys? Pop it in the chat box and let us know.
No, but I was just going to say, I remember seeing you, Erin, do a little tip with your melted chocolate to clean your bowl.
Ah, yes.
That you pop in some milk and then the kids can have some hot chocolate.
Yeah, that's right. So if you want to now, obviously once you finish with your bowl, yeah, you can just add in as much milk as you want, really. It's just going to change the strength of it, and then heat it up and then give it a bit of a whiz, kind of turning the speed up a little bit, and then you'll get a nice frothy hot chocolate to enjoy. So you can do that with anything, really. I made a caramel kind of it's a bit like caramel top and fill, but a Thermomix version on the weekend, and you could use that and make a caramel hot chocolate as well. Do it when you're making a white chocolate. Making a lovely mess here.
Yeah, I've even done it with this sponge after I finish, just to clean the bowl. It's delicious.
Perfect. All right, so I'm going to pop these in the fridge so that they set, and then we'll come back and finish making them as wreaths afterwards. So let's pop back to Jess, who should be just about finished on her.
Yeah, I've got about 40 seconds, so you can swap over.
Perfect. Place.
All right, so this is the part where everyone gets a little bit scared about making honeycomb. but you just need to work fast. So what we're going to do is, as soon as this is finished, I'm going to pop in the bicarb soda and just put that around the blade, because as I said, we've only made a half serve, so we don't have as much in there as you normally would. We mix that up, which I can show you here. They actually have these great little videos on Cookie Do here. So there is a video to be able to show you, but I'll just show you there. So that is our mixture at the moment, not that you can really see. And what I'm going to do is I'll just tilt the camera down. Hopefully you can see a bit better. Maybe. I'm going to just pop that in. And then once I start stirring, you can see in there it starts foaming up, and then it's time to pour it out. Trick is to try and work fast to get it out of your bowl, as it sets really quickly. Also too, when you're putting it out onto the tray, try not to relayer it on honeycomb that you've already put in the bowl, because it'll actually go hard and not be as nice. Next quick tip is you've just got to try and clean the top so the lid goes back on. Don't worry about the rest of the bowl being dirty and it all sitting hard, because in the recipe, as we see here, we're about to do, we press next. It's saying transfer immediately to our dish. So we've done that, as you can see here, and it's risen quite nicely in height. And then we're going to add water straight in. So the pre-clean function is actually already part of this recipe. So we'll put in our liter of water. Now it is really difficult to get the bowl clean and get it all out. So don't be dismayed when it doesn't happen as good as you would like. This recipe doesn't have a little bit of vinegar, but the other one does. So I just like to add in a little bit of vinegar in there to help clean it. Lid back on. Go to next and go straight into your pre-clean. So you'll see this is the same as the mode you would access from your home screen, but it's actually built into the recipe because you need to do it so quickly. So you'll notice that it's only going to take 5 minutes, and it will actually clean the bowl really quickly. But there we go. There is our honeycomb made. As easy as that. House hasn't burned down, and it was easy.
Beautiful. Look how puffy and just looks amazing. Yeah. What does everybody think? If you haven't made honeycomb before, was that harder than you thought, or easier than you thought, or exactly what you thought? Pop in the chat box and let us know. Or would you try it now that you've seen it? I think, you know, being hands-free with the sugar stages mode, which is exclusive to the TM6, it takes the difficulty out of it and makes it perfect and easy for you. Pam's going to give. And
so I'll just quickly add that we just leave it now to cool to room temperature, and it's done.
Amazing. Were you going to melt a bit of chocolate to dip it in as well, Jess?
Yep, I can do that. Do you want me to do that now?
Yeah, maybe just start the chocolate for us and just show us what you can do.
I'll just wait. It's just got a minute left on the pre-clean. But I'll just swap bowls anyway. Perfect. So once it's finished, we will swap over. So it does say in the recipe, in the hints and tips, it says you've got to keep the honeycomb in an airtight container, and it lasts about 3 days. But then it does say, which I always find this is an interesting comment, but it'll prolong the shelf life if you coat it in chocolate. I feel like in our house it would shorten the shelf life if it's coated in chocolate.
Definitely shorten it here too.
Yeah. So that is done. So I'll just show you. I'll just quickly tip that out and show you how clean it is. So that's how clean the bowl got after that quick pre-clean. So a little bit at the side there, but that won't take much at all scrubbing to get off. So now if we just quickly jump over to our clean second bowl, another amazing reason why you need a second bowl. And I'll also just show you, I'm actually using this like cheat sheet that you get sent when you buy your Thermomix. You'll get it emailed to you, and your consultant might send it to you as well. But it says on here about melting chocolate. So I'm just going to pop in, I'll go grab my scales. And I'll just break in some chocolate. All right. So I'm just going to grate it up first so that it goes, so that it melts quicker. So I'll just do about 8 seconds on speed 8. That's probably a bit too long. Probably half melted. Yep, so that's just really grated it up there. And now if you go down to the next section on here, and we're just going to melt it. We're just going to do about, I think I'll go about 2 minutes. On 50 degrees. Ooh. And then speed 3. And that should melt my chocolate perfectly.
Amazing. The cheat sheets are so handy, aren't they? Just have
I use it all the time. I just keep it on the fridge and use it all the time. Perfect.
There was a couple of comments in the chat box about getting a copy of that, and I'll attach a copy to the email that I send out tomorrow with all the recipes on it, guys.
Yep.
I think that's the easiest way to do it. Cool. Sarah, how's your fudge going? I think it probably is ready to set.
Nearly. We just have about 1 more minute before we get to add in this chocolate.
Perfect.
Yeah, shouldn't be too much longer.
So good. What have you been doing while your hands free?
Watching all these delicious recipes. It's been amazing.
Help our waistline coming up to Christmas, are they?
I know.
So I'm sure everybody just saw Jess swap over her bowl. So those of you who don't have a Thermomix or that don't have a TM6, at the moment we have our amazing kind of most popular offer with purchase. Sorry, Jess, I'll come over. Offer with purchase of a second bowl for only $29 with your TM6 purchase. So it's only while stocks last or till about mid-December, but does have the potential to sell out quicker. So if that is something that you're interested in upgrading or getting a TM6 in your kitchen, please let whoever your consultant is know. We would all love to help you. Yeah, second bowl is such a game changer for your Thermomix. I can't even explain to you how good it is. Just to be able to save time quickly switching it over like Jess just did. You don't have to, I'm sure you know that when you melt chocolate, you know, your bowl, whatever you're using with, it does have to be completely dry, otherwise it can seize up a bit. So not having to make sure your bowl's perfectly dry, clean and dry afterwards, you can just switch it over and get melting. It's so much easier.
All right.
Let's go.
So that's our caramel fudge there. I'll just tip the screen down. Hopefully it might help you see it a bit better. Oh, nearly coming out again. So it's browned up nicely. It just says to reserve, add the reserved grated chocolate that we did earlier. Just gonna put that in there. Click next. And this time pop your lid on with the measuring cup. Click next, and that's just going to go for 15 seconds to give it a good mix on speed 3. It's as simple as that. So once that's done, I can pop it into my baking tray and pop that into the fridge and let that sit. And that's as easy as it gets. So pour the mixture. Yeah. There we go. It's all done. Let's watch this.
That melted as it mixed through, did it, Sarah?
Yeah, it did. So
okay.
You'll see it when I pour it out.
Okay.
How good does that look?
Oh.
So caramelly and fudgy.
Killing my sweet tooth over here.
You guys have to give this one a go, honestly, if you haven't. Such a crowd pleaser.
Awesome. So you're just going to pop that in the fridge now?
Yep.
Yeah.
And let that sit. And that's it.
Easy. All right. We'll pop back to you at the end and have a look at it once it's set a little bit.
Awesome.
Thanks so much. All right. Now we're going to pop over to Karen, who's actually going to make a couple of non-edibles for us in her Thermomix.
Hey everyone, I'm Karen from Thermomix Covered. I'm just along the Murray River, so on the border of Victoria, New South Wales. So today I'm going to be making soy candles. A little bit different, something a bit fun. You can pour them in any container that you want. So, glass jars that you might have left over, cute little Christmas bowls, or little tins that you can pop a lid on, and that makes a good little gift to pop in the mail, or maybe a teacher gift if you want. So today I'm going to be popping one in an old candle holder that I had. Used the candle, so time to refill it. I'm going to be using the manual setting, and all it is using soy wax, which is, if you can see, the wax, which is pretty cool. You can buy it just grated down, so it melts really easily. I'll send Erin a few places of where you can purchase it. So I'm just
great, thank you.
Bagels. Weighing. Now that I'm after, so around 800 grams is a good amount. It'll fill up the jug, and then halfway through, if you want to do more, it melts down quite considerably, and you can add some more to make quite a few gifts. It's just how many you want to make, really, but it literally takes 5 minutes, so it's a very quick gift to make.
Have you got a big tub there of?
Yeah, I'm quite stocked up.
Do you make them for gifts often?
Yeah, I haven't done it in a little bit, to be honest, but it's so easy to do. I used to do it in my old TM31, so it's been a while. So now I'm just popping the lid on, putting the timer on for 5 minutes, temperature at 70 degrees. So melting point for soy is 60 degrees. So I put it up to 70 degrees, make sure it gets all the little bits and pieces on the sides. And then we put it on for speed 3. And that's literally it. So probably about halfway through, I'll just stop it and just mix it through, make sure that it's getting all the bits on the sides and it's melting thoroughly. But that's it.
Wow. Again, so easy.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, we'll come back to you when that's melted down a little bit and see what's next. Jess, how are you going with your chocolate? Are we ready to dip some?
Yep, I can dip some now.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I had, as I said, I made a lot of honeycomb yesterday. As you can see here, we're just going to have honeycomb overload. So if anyone's local to me, feel free to come and have some honeycomb. This is the one that I made that went quite high, a bit like the one I've just made now. I also made another one, but did it just to show you that if you use a lower dish, like a bigger one, it doesn't rise as much. It actually uses the container to rise. So depending on if you want like really high honeycomb or a thinner honeycomb, just depends on which dish you use. So I've got my melted chocolate in here, and I've just tried my hardest to cut the honeycomb, which is easier said than done, and then just coating it with a bit of chocolate and just doing a bit of a half coat. I've done some full, but just half like that. And then
can you show us a bit of your honeycomb close to the camera, Jess, so we can see some of those air bubbles and stuff in it?
Sure. Yep.
Just show us how it really, amazing.
It really rises up. So this one was a double. That one was the double or normal amount in a square tin, and then I made the half amount in the square tin, and it just went a lot like thinner, because it didn't have the sides to rise up. So it's still got the air bubbles in there, as you can see, and it's still quite light and fluffy. It's just not as thick. So I've got some that I've started coating there in chocolate. And that will be prolonging its shelf life. Pretty much, yeah.
Great. That looks so good. Thanks for showing us how easy honeycomb is, Jess. That's amazing.
No worries. It's really easy. I think everyone should give it a go.
Definitely. Cool. All right. We're doing really well for time, guys. So if you've got any questions, pop them in the chat box and let us know. Charlotte, have you finished or not quite?
Not quite. Still 5 minutes to go.
Perfect. All right. We're going to go back to Karen and pick her brain a bit more on these candles then.
So it's getting there slowly. I've just the cool thing about your spatula that you've got the guard here. So when you're mixing through, making sure you're getting all the sides, it's not going to cut up your spatula with the blade, because that's the last thing that you want. There's plastic all through your candle. So it's coming along nicely, getting there. Still got another 2 minutes.
I don't know if you can see the chat box there, Karen. We've just got a question of what scents do you like to use in your candles?
Oh, so the ones that I did yesterday, I made Christmassy, so I put a bit of ginger and clove in. But the ones today, I'm going to put a bit of peppermint in. So I thought that'd be a bit of fun. Just use got like any essential oils that you've got, or there's fragrances that you can buy online as well, which are pretty good. You can also colour your candles as well. And if you had the time, you could actually do layers of colours as well, which would look really good. So if you did like 2 batches of soy candle, you could melt a bit of red for half the jar, let that set for overnight, and then the next day you could then make green, and you can have like a Christmassy sort of one. Should be really cool.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if anyone else has made any non food items in your Thermomix. Let us know what you've done. Have you done anything, Erin?
No, I haven't actually. Or only just stuff for the kids, really, just the standard kind of Play-Doh, which is all really food ingredients anyway. Play-Doh and kids' foams and that kind of thing. But nothing like this. So I'm really intrigued, actually. I can't wait to see what you do next. Is there really?
Also, I make dishwashing tablets and your laundry soap as well, which is pretty good.
Amazing. That is good.
Bit of a cost saver.
Yeah. And you just do them all are they quick and easy or?
Yeah, really easy. Like it's pretty much your machine grates up a bar of soap for you. Oh, sorry. And then you just add all the other ingredients and it mixes it in really nicely, and it's literally like a 20-second, 30-second recipe.
Amazing.
You can see, let's try and not spill it. You can see how it's gone to a liquid form.
Perfect.
Really cool. So now this is where you add your fragrance of choice. So I'm going to be doing peppermint, and you'd add your, if you're colouring it as well, whoops, put it back down a bit. If you're colouring it as well, you could add like whatever colour. So I'm just going to add, the more the better. So I'll add normally, for this amount, I'll probably add around 20 drops of the oil. It just depends on how strong you like it too. Some people don't like strong smells. Some people do. And this is where you could also keep it like plain as well, so you don't even have to add a flavour or scent. Just put that in. I put it on 3 seconds for a few seconds, about 5 seconds. So just to mix through the scent, and then that's it. So now I'm going to get my vessel that I'm using. So I'll link the, I'll send Erin the links, but we've got like little wicks here that we've got. You can either use like hot glue gun if you've got one, or in the shops you can also get like these little stick-on, I don't know if you can see, little tabs. Makes it really easy for these to stick on. Because it's so big, I'm going to put 2. Yeah. Pour it in to the vessel. I don't know if you can see. Now, you can use like if you've got a spoon or something, or a knife to sort of hold them in place so they don't fall over the wicks. Yeah, but mine don't watch it today, of course. Normally I get my husband to help with that bit. And yeah, we just sit, and then they'll sit overnight, and then tomorrow you can then cut the wick into place, and they'll be ready in a week to use. So you want to make like a week ahead of time to gift.
It's definitely something we could start making now to gift a bit later.
Yeah, definitely. And like, you know, great stocking filler, great for family, friends, teachers. You could get like a little, make up like a little label on your printer, like, you know, thanks for brightening my year, something like that for your teacher. So it'd be pretty cute. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Did you want to show us how to make a quick scrub as well?
Yes.
Let's do that.
I'll just move this over.
You're right.
Okay. Oh, and a quick tip for cleaning this too. I fill it up with hot water and let it sit for a little bit. The wax will melt and then sit on top, so you can just pick it off and then straight in the dishwasher so it doesn't clog up your dishwasher or anything like that. Okay, so second jug, no washing up straight away. I'm going to be making a sugar scrub, just bringing up the recipe now. So this here takes a few seconds and it makes another great non-edible gift. So the candles are great for if you know people that have like any allergies and things like that. Don't need to worry at all. This is also another good one because it literally uses sugar. This one's got like, there's a whole heap of recipes out there, but this one's got mixed spice, ground ginger and coconut oil. So it's a nice clean recipe as well. So first up, 250 grams of sugar. So going over to our scales. That's enough. Okay, and we're doing 1 tablespoon of mixed spice. Just eyeballing it. 2 tablespoons of ground ginger. 2. And then 3 to 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. So I think I may have enough. And it doesn't really matter if it's melted or hard. It mixes together nicely either way. So. So in, and then pop it on and mix for 15 seconds on speed drain. So back to right, 15 seconds, speed drain. All right. And I've got a little cute container. You could use any jar that you've got laying around. You could do like a cute label on it or like a pretty little Christmas ribbon if you've got it. And that is your scrub right there. It's just that easy. So, see if I can get this in without making too much of a mess.
Pop your lid over the top of the jar. That's a handy little trick too, Karen, to help us.
Yes, that's a smart one.
Yeah.
And with this too, you could even double the recipe or triple the recipe, as long as you are sticking to, you know, under the max line of the machine. But yeah, it depends on how much you need to make. For,
Easy.
See. Really cool consistency. But yeah, that's it. So two non-edible presents. So for people that aren't sure if someone can eat something, it's another option.
Perfect. All right, I'm just going to flick over here quickly again, just to show you guys my little reeds that I've got going. So they've pretty much set for us. And so I've just, the reason you want to use your silicone tray for this is that it's just so much easier to get out of it than trying to get it out of a normal donut tin. So I'm just pushing it up from behind and then it's just flicking out. And then just pull that bit down. And then we've got a cute little ring. So I'll just pull a couple of those out. Could probably do with a little bit longer. You'll see they're not fully set, but obviously we don't have all day. And then I'm just using a little bit of the melted chocolate that's left in the Thermomix bowl, and then just using little jaffas and little mint leaves to decorate them. I can also, last year I put melted some white chocolate and put it in a little piping bag. And then just put some little drizzle of that on the top as well, just to decorate it. But otherwise, yeah, literally just decorating it with a couple of little mint leaves. They're very cute, I think. And a couple of jaffas, and that's it. It's probably I need to put it down. So that's it for our wreaths. There's a couple of done ones there. You can see. So we might pop over to Charlotte and see how hers is finishing off, and then we'll show you all the finished products.
All right, so it all finished, and this is the end product. Don't want to tip it on the computer there. That's it there. It did say, so it says, while still warm, transfer to a warm glass jar with airtight lid, leaving approximately 5 ml gap at the top. So I've just popped jars into the oven, just on 100 degrees for 10 minutes, pull them out, and now I'll just use my lid to balance that on there. That's not the right size jar, there we go. And I'm just gonna use my tongs to pop that in there. And it says to seal it immediately and let it sit in the fridge, and once it's cold and set, it'll obviously be a lot like jam. Just says make sure the rim of the jar is clean. Pop that lid on. Leave to cool completely, then refrigerate for 1 day before serving. Store in the fridge for up to 1 month. So that would be a good little teacher's gift. I just grabbed these from Woolies. You could put something like that on the jar. But that's it there. And I also made some of those like fancy crackers today. They were pretty easy to make. But yeah, could serve it with cheese on a plate like that.
Oh, were they a Thermomix recipe too, Charlotte?
It wasn't. I converted it. So I'm still sort of playing with it. I did it in Thermomix, but it wasn't a Thermomix recipe.
You'll have to finish that one and pop it on the recipe community. They are so expensive to buy, aren't they?
They are. And it makes 80 of these.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to have to share that with us.
Yeah, so that'll be a good little gift with the crackers. You could maybe do a cheese wheel, the chutney, maybe a bottle of wine or something.
Beautiful. Amazing. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll just flick through everybody and just have a look at everybody's finished products. So we might start with Sarah.
I'm just cutting up the fudge now.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's probably could go with a few extra minutes
A bit longer,
in
yeah.
the fridge, but that's the fudge there. It's delicious.
Yeah. That looks really good.
Fudge. Yeah.
And so would you just gift that in a little bag, or how would you?
Yeah, you can pop it into a jar, same thing, or little bags, the food bags, you can pop them in there.
Perfect.
Delicious.
Thanks so much for sharing that.
Okay.
So Sarah is, what was your Instagram again, Sarah? On Facebook?
Mama Be Healthy, and I'm in Pakenham, Victoria.
Thank you so much. Thanks for helping us tonight.
No worries.
And now we're going to go over to Jess. Oh, hang on.
All right, so here's my honeycomb all done. Oh, no, I lost it off the plate. So I've done some half-coated stuff. I've left some uncoated. As you can see, the air bubbles in it there, just to sort of show the air that we got in it. But yes, so that was the stuff I made the other night, because the other stuff I made tonight is nearly set. It's just taking a bit longer because of the heat today. So, but this is, a perfect gift. I made like food hampers for kinder teachers last year, and I had like just cellophane bags, and I made honeycomb in one of them, and I made the salted caramel fudge and a few other different things. So it worked out to be a really easy gift.
Such a great idea. Thanks so much. Thanks for showing us how easy it was. And
No worries.
Jess is Thermi Life on the Farm on Facebook and Instagram.
That's right.
Isn't that right, Jess? Thanks so much for cooking with us. And now we'll just go back to Karen. She can show us both hers together.
I'll show you the one that's already set, because the other one will fall everywhere. But here's the candle, and here's the scrub. So I put it in a massive jar because it's just for me, this one. But yeah, you could put it in any size jar. But yeah,
perfect. Thank you so much. We had a couple of really good comments in the chat box about non-edibles and maybe looking at a non-edibles class in the future, which I think is a really great idea. So definitely something we will look into, guys. Thanks for those ideas, and thanks so much, Karen. Perfect. And we'll just go back to Charlotte. Oh, Karen is, Thermo Go-To Covered on Facebook and Instagram as well. You can follow her. And then we'll just pop back to say hi to Charlotte one more time. Thanks so much, Charlotte, for cooking with us tonight. Charlotte, like she said before, is a home baker mum on Instagram. Are you on Facebook as well, Charlotte?
Yeah, but more Instagram. But yes, on Facebook.
Thank you so much. So she's got some beautiful little jars there to gift her chutney. And like she said before, those crackers, what a great idea to gift them with them as well. Yeah. Thank you so much, Charlotte.
Thank you.
And then we'll just come back to me, and I'll just show you again those little chocolate wreaths. They're very cute with the jaffas and the mint leaves there. And like I said, you could pipe a little bit of white chocolate on the top as well, which would be really cute. So you could do that with just a normal rocky road or like the clinkers version we did tonight. And then I would usually, I can't put them in there because they're still a little bit soft, but I would usually pop them in a nice little bag with some cute little Christmas ribbon. Or like I said, last year I put them on a little gift kind of platter as well. So lots of options. And yeah, we've seen a few really great recipes tonight, which is really exciting. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Pop it in the chat box and let us know what your favourite recipe has been, if there's something that you are going to try, whether it's just for yourself or perhaps to gift this Christmas. We would love to know. And a big thank you to my wonderful team, girls. Thank you so much for cooking with me tonight. Like I said, this is our very first cooking class, so I hope you enjoyed it. And these girls are pretty much all brand new consultants, so it's a massive for them to help me out. So I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you guys want to join our amazing team, if you think you can do what we do, which I'm sure you can, we have lots of fun doing it. I would love to have a chat with you or have a chat with your consultant. And yeah, if there's anything at all we can help you out with, please let us know. There's some really great offers at the moment, whether it be to earn your Thermomix, join our team, buy a Thermomix with a second bowl, and then we've got some more great things coming. So get in touch with your consultant or sing out to one of us if you don't have one. We're here to help you and here to help you get the most out of your Thermomix. So thanks again and Merry Christmas. Thanks so much. I'm reading all the comments as they're coming through. I'm so glad you guys have enjoyed it. Oh, 1 moment.